Good evening and welcome. I'm Claire Van Blaricum, board member of the League of Women Voters of Santa Barbara and co-chair of the Voter Service Committee. I'm joined by League board member Shane Starr. The webinar forum is being co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of North Santa Barbara County, the League of Women Voters of San Luis Obispo County, the Santa Barbara, Goleta Valley, Vandenberg, and the Santa Maria branches of AAW, the American Association of University Women, the Fund for Santa Barbara, and TV Santa Barbara. We hope this forum will help you, the voters, make an informed decision about the single issue on the November 4th special election ballot, Proposition 50.
Following tonight's webinar, a recording of the forum will be available on the League's YouTube channel in both English and Spanish, which can be accessed through a link on the League website, LWVSB website. Thanks to Sylvia Uribe of TransLPro, who is recording the Spanish language version of the forum. Also, thanks to TVSB for their technical expertise in setting up this virtual platform.
We will be using a number of PowerPoint slides in our presentation tonight, and many of them come from the League of Women Voters of North Santa Barbara County.
Or San Diego County.
North San Diego County. We thank them very much for allowing us to use the fruits of their labor. And now we begin.
Now we begin.
First slide?
Yeah, let's hit it. I think just touch it.
These are the logos of the various co-sponsors, and we thank them very much. Whoops, what did I do? There we go. All right.
There we go. Why are we holding this forum? Our purpose is to educate voters about the ballot measure. We will explain the measure, what it would do, what it would not do, and the arguments for and against. The League of Women Voters does not endorse or oppose any candidate or political party. We will take questions through the chat. Please refer to the League of Women Voters Easy Voter Guide for more information. I'm going to read their website. https://cavotes.org/easy-voter-guide/.
Our great thanks to TV Santa Barbara, our host for the forum, the League of Women Voters of North Santa Barbara County. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. The League of Women Voters of North San Diego County for their use of slides, to Sylvia Uribe of TransLPro for the Spanish language translation, and our co-sponsors. As we mentioned, the League of Women Voters of North Santa Barbara County, San Luis Obispo County, and the Santa Barbara, Goleta Valley, Lampa, Vandenberg, and Santa Maria AAW, and the Fund for Santa Barbara.
This is the mission. It's actually the mission of the North San Diego County, but it's very similar to ours, I believe. It's to encourage informed and active participation in government and increase understanding of major policy issues. Proudly nonpartisan, we neither support nor oppose candidates or political parties at any level of government, but always work on vital issues of concern to members and the public.
How we got here. After each census, the California Constitution requires an independent redistricting commission to establish single-member districts for Congress and the state legislature. It provides criteria and prohibits partisanship and incumbency as factors. Two initiatives, Prop 11 and Prop 20, Article 21, Symbol 2D. Federal law does not prohibit partisan redistricting. The practice of drawing district lines to create partisan advantage is called gerrymandering. At request of President Trump, Texas and Missouri have redistricted mid-decade in an effort to increase Republicans in Congress before the 2026 midterm elections. This result is not guaranteed. California Governor Newsom proposed to call a special election to place a measure on the state ballot to amend the state constitution and temporarily adopt new congressional districts intended to create the opportunity for more Democratic representatives. Legislature agreed. It passed two statutes, one defining the new congressional districts, the other concerning funding and election procedure, and called a special election to consider a proposed constitutional amendment, ACA 8. This is Proposition 50. It is the only measure on the ballot for the November 4th, 2025 special election.
This is the actual ballot language for the special election of November 4th. Proposition 50 authorizes temporary changes to congressional district maps in response to Texas's partisan redistricting. And the ballot will say, should the state authorize temporary changes to congressional district maps in response to Texas's partisan redistricting?
This is a disclaimer regarding the statements for and against that we will be presenting tonight. They come from supporters and opponents as published in the official voter information guide that comes from the state of California from the Secretary of State's office. We cannot vouch for their accuracy. We are merely presenting what each of the sides has said. They do not represent our viewpoint. They reflect the supporters' and opponents' opinions and may or may not be based on facts. Slide.
Oh, that slide. Whoa, did we miss one?
There we go.
Who draws congressional district maps in California? Before 2008, the legislators drew the lines. Between 2008 and the present, Proposition 11 approved a nonpartisan commission called the Independent Redistricting Commission, right, to draw the maps for the state Senate, the state Assembly, and the Board of Equalization. I note that none of those are affected by Proposition 50. From 2010 to the present, Proposition 20 transferred the authority to draw congressional maps from the legislature to the Independent Redistricting Commission.
The California Citizens Redistricting Commission. It was established by Article 21 of the California Constitution. It is made up of 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 4 people not affiliated with either of the 2 parties. It requires the district lines be drawn in conformity with strict, nonpartisan rules.
How do other states draw congressional maps? In most states, the legislature has primary control of the redistricting process, both for state legislative and congressional districts. Only California, Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Michigan, New York, and Montana use independent commissions to draw congressional lines.
When are the lines redrawn? New maps are redrawn every 10 years after the U.S. Census is completed to reflect the state's number of representatives to ensure roughly equivalent population in each district. The CCRC certified new district maps on December 27th of 2021 following the 2020 census.
This is similar to what we said before. Proposition 50 authorizes temporary changes to congressional district maps in response to Texas's partisan redistricting. And should the state authorize temporary changes to congressional district maps in response to Texas's partisan redistricting?
Here's some background on Prop 50. In June and July of 2025, President Trump asked Texas state legislators to redraw their congressional maps to improve Republicans' ability to win 5 districts now held by Democrats. In August of 2025, the Texas legislature passed a bill to adopt new maps for the 2026 elections, pardon me. In California, a plan to counterbalance that action was initiated by members of the legislature and Governor Newsom. On August 18th of 2025, new congressional maps were approved by the state legislature through Assembly Bill 604, but the bill cannot take effect without voter approval of Prop 50 via the special election in November.
What will Prop 50 do? It will change the California Constitution, allowing new maps in AB 604 to take effect and replace the maps drawn by the CCRC, the Citizens Commission. It will require that these maps are used until the Independent Commission draws new maps following the 2030 United States Census. And it also establishes a policy that supports the use of fair, nonpartisan redistricting commissions nationwide. And it does not mandate that Congress do anything specific.
Prop 50 would also change the percentage of registered Republicans and Democrats in many districts so that, for one thing, Democrats would have an advantage in 5 districts currently represented by Republicans. More Democrats would be pulled into 5 swing districts currently represented by Democrats, giving them a greater margin.
What will Proposition 50 not do? It will not change any rules for state legislative districts or the Board of Equalization. It will change the rules for
It will not
change the rules for regularly scheduled post-census districting in 2030. It will not determine the outcome of any election in any district, and it will not require Congress to do anything. It will make, there are some technical changes to the election process. It's mostly in the statutes, the laws. The voter approval is only necessary to amend the state constitution. Part of the legislation is that funders are not listed on the ballot. There are other places to find the funders, and there are various time frames for elections that have been shortened to allow the special election to take place in November.
What are the fiscal effects if Proposition 50 passes? There will be one-time costs to counties of up to a few $1 million to update election materials to reflect new congressional district maps. There will be one-time costs to the state of $200,000. These numbers do not include the cost of the special election itself.
These are maps that reflect the current congressional district and the proposed congressional district. You can zoom in if you go online to the official election materials. You can zoom in on your particular district, and they will indicate what the changes are and what the difference in percentage of registration changes is of well. Might as well indicate that Santa Barbara County, the districts will not change. There's a very slight change in the district in Ventura.
Very minor.
Very minor, and the net result from the official material indicates that the Republican registration in the district will increase from 26% to 27%.
And you notice as you're looking at these two maps that the vast majority of the changes that are proposed are in the northern and eastern part of the state. Here are more detailed maps showing our particular region. Santa Barbara County is part of District 24. San Luis Obispo County is partially in 24 and partially in 19. In both cases, there are virtually no changes if Proposition 50 passes.
These are the supporting arguments, and you can see a list of supporters. I'll list some of the prominent ones: Barack Obama, Gavin Newsom, the California Professional Firefighters, the Federation of Teachers, the State Federation of Teachers, the SEIU State Council, Indivisible California, Planned Parenthood affiliates of California, and the California Democratic Party. The supporters' arguments is that Prop 50 is a temporary emergency plan to stop attempts to unfairly rig the 2026 election. It requires voters' approval, it creates fair maps, and protects us from partisan gerrymandering in Congress. It keeps California a leader in fair elections, and it strengthens democracy by making sure Republicans don't have an unfair advantage in Congress.
These are the arguments that the opponents to Prop 50 have put forward. And here are some of the primary opponents: Charles Munger Jr., Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kevin McCarthy, Carl DeMaio, California Business Roundtable, Congressional Leadership Fund, and the Republican Party of California. There are others. These are the most prominent ones. The arguments against are that it is a power grab by politicians, that it replaces an open public process, that it hurts fair representation, that it lets politicians control district lines for years and could open the door to permanent control. And they claim that it costs taxpayers $200 million. We are not sure where that number came from.
Where can one get analysis and arguments? The official analysis by the legislative analyst is online at https://lao.ca.gov. There's a ballot analysis. Then there's a voter information guide. It's got a very long online, I'll read it, vig.cdn.sos, that's Secretary of State, .ca.gov/2025/special/PDF/complete-vig.pdf. The arguments for and against are summarized in the Easy Voter Guide and may be found in several sources online. The maps, the interactive maps, are definitely available online from the Secretary of State, and also Cal Matters, which is an election website, has interactive maps. And the local media has various descriptions of what happens to the particular districts that are an issue. As we've noted before, Santa Barbara County remains, the entirety of Santa Barbara County remains in the 24th district, and there are some very minor changes in Ventura, I think around the Santa Paula region.
I might mention one reason we are reading absolutely everything, including the long website links, is that Sylvia Uribe, who will be doing the Spanish translation for our later YouTube recording, will be working from the audio recording of this webinar in order to provide that translation. So she needs to be able to hear everything in order to do that translation. I know it's annoying sometimes to have everything read out, including things like websites. How to vote. All registered voters in California will be receiving a ballot with prepaid postage to vote in this special election. Ballots are being mailed out now, starting October 6th. If you do not receive a ballot by October 15th, please contact your county elections office. Mail-in ballots must be postmarked by November 4th, and we recommend actually postmarking well before November 4th, or mailing well before November 4th. If you are more than 50 miles from a major postal processing center, there is a chance that even if you were to drop your ballot into a mailbox in the morning of November 4th, that it might not make it to a center to be postmarked until the following day. So be aware of that. Ballots can also be returned by November 4th to the ballot drop boxes, the locations of which will be included with your ballot. The mail-in ballot will include information on the location of polling places and what to do with your mail-in ballot if you prefer to go to a polling place to vote in person.
Are you registered? The registration deadline for this election is October 20th. After that date, you may register or re-register at your county elections office. You may also register on the day of the election at your polling place, where you would be given a provisional ballot to vote, which will be counted once your registration has been confirmed. Remember, if you have changed your address or your name since the last time you voted, or if you wish to change your party affiliation, you must re-register. You can do so in person at your county elections office. You can also register or check to be sure your registration is up to date at the California Secretary of State website. This one's short. www.sos.ca.gov. G-O-V.
Okay. Next slide.
Talk about it.
Okay. For questions about the election, voting locations, or to register to vote, contact your county elections office. For Santa Barbara County, www.countyofsb.org. For San Luis Obispo County, www.slocounty.ca.gov.
Dates to remember. October 6, 2025, county elections officials will begin mailing vote-by-mail ballots on or before this date, which is my highly trained mind registers as yesterday. I think.
Indeed.
That was
Indeed.
yesterday. October 20th, as we have mentioned before, October 20th, 2025 is the last day to register to vote for this election. And November 24th, 2025 is Election Day.
November 4th.
November 4th. Polls are open from 7 o'clock a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. And again, we'll give you the website for the California Secretary of State, https://voterguide.sos.ca.gov/voter-info/.
This forum will be available soon on the League of Women Voters Santa Barbara YouTube channel in both English and Spanish. It can be accessed through the League's website, lwvsantabarbara.org. Please encourage your friends and neighbors to watch it. Remember the upcoming June 2nd, 2026 primary election for federal, state, and local offices. And the most important thing, don't forget to vote.
This is the logos from the League of Women Voters. I see we have some questions.
One question.
One question.
How can we get the slides?
How can we get the slides? Going for an on-the-fly executive decision here.
I would say contact us through the League of Women Voters of Santa Barbara website. There is a way to contact us and request them, and we would be more than happy to email them to you.
That's great, and they might also be posted somewhere,
That's entirely possible.
which would be
even better.
even better, and would the
But-
information would be on our
Right.
website.
But going to the League of Women Voters of Santa Barbara's website would be the best place to start. Thank you very much for watching. The election date is Tuesday, November 4th. One thing that we didn't say, you can always check to see if your registration is up to date at voterstatus.ca.gov. The League of Women Voters is dedicated to protecting democracy and empowering voters. Please consider joining us by going to the League of Women Voters of the U.S. website and selecting your local league. Dues are pay what you can with a $20 minimum. We would welcome your participation. Remember that your vote is your voice.
Thank you.
Thank you. And out.